happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-723-5220. That's 800-723-5220. 800-723-5220. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
There's an Allied Craft Workers, and this is my story. When I finished high school, I had a dilemma in my life. You see, I didn't like anything about school. As many of my friends headed off to college, I began to feel left out and unsure of myself. I knew I liked working with my hands and certainly wasn't afraid of hard work, but how was I going to fill that need? Then a friend told me about the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers, and that I should sign up to become an apprentice bricklayer. I signed up, spent 3 years as an apprentice, then became a journeyman, and I never looked back. If this story sounds familiar to where you are right now, you too can have the same opportunity as I did. You can have not just a job, but a career, and not a dollar of college debt. Most of our apprentices start out making more than $23 an hour, along with health care and a pension plan for you and your family. For more information, call 630-953-0835 or go to our website at bac2school.org.
Sarcoma. Odds are you've never heard that word before. For the 40 people diagnosed with sarcoma every day, it is a life-changing word because sarcoma is cancer. Through awareness, advocacy, and research, the Sarcoma Foundation of America is bringing hope to the families whose lives have been turned upside down by a cancer they had never heard of until diagnosis. Please join us in the fight to find the cure for sarcoma. For more information on the work of the Sarcoma Foundation of America, go to curesarcoma.org.
The following program, the Rewind Sports 60, is sponsored by Jerry Riles and, to the extent applicable, his guests. The views and opinions expressed therein do not necessarily reflect those of NewsWeb Radio Company or its management.
The Rewind
Sports 60. From the city of big shoulders, the jewel of the Midwest, comes a sports show that's one of a kind. From iconic players to iconic stadiums to iconic teams, this is my kind of town. Chicago! And the Rewind Sports 60 is my kind of show. From Air Jordan to Sweetness to Papa Bear Hallis, this city works hard, but plays even harder. Danny Carlino and Jerry Riles bring you the Rewind Sports 60. Live. The Rewind Sports 60 starts now.
Well, you know what? At least you got something to listen to. I don't know about watching. You have something at least you can listen to. You can continue to watch this debacle if you like. Continue to watch the debacle. What I suggest that you do is turn the volume down on the debacle that's taking place on the lakefront here in Chicago. Turn the volume down and turn up WCPT 820 AM. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the Rewind Sports 60. We're streaming live on Facebook Live, broadcasting from the world's famous WCPT 820 AM studios in the beautiful, beautiful city of Chicago on the north side of Jefferson Park. This is the Rewind Sports 60. I'm Jerry Riles, and let's get to our esteemed panel, ladies and gentlemen, because you know what? They should be out there in the lakefront helping the Chicago Bears, but they're in the studios here. Ladies and gentlemen, usually he's helping out the Cubs. I think maybe he's with Theo and Jed trying to figure out the next manager for the Chicago Cubs. Congratulations to Joe Madden on receiving the nod to go over to the Los Angeles Angels and Anaheim to manage that team and see what he can do out there. But ladies and gentlemen, he's here in the studios. He's the one. He's the only. He's the marvelous one. He's Dan Marver. What's up, Danny?
Hey, Jerry. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Everything's good. It's a beautiful day in Chicago.
Yeah, well, it was a beautiful day.
At least it was a nice day for a drive to Soldier Field for the fans.
Let me tell you something. It was a beautiful day before kickoff at 3:25. Now I don't know so much. I don't know so much. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Here, let me do this. He could be on the lakefront with the Chicago Bears in the stands, throwing cans at him. Ladies and gentlemen, he could be over in he could be in Elmhurst. He could be in Evanston. He could be anywhere, but he chose to be at WCPT 820 AM in the studios at Jefferson Park. He's the one. He's the only. He is the man on the street. He's Marty-B. What's up, Marty?
Hey, good afternoon, Jerry and Danny. You look very dapper this afternoon. Well, I should be anywhere else but here. You know, for the last couple of hours, Jerry and Dan, I have felt like Wolf Blitzer in the CNN Situation Room.
Well, there's a situation certainly going on over at Soldier Field. I can tell you that, man on the street. If you want to join us, feel free. We're having fun. We're doing a lot of laughing and jovial display to open up the show because it's better than the alternative. And that's, of course, crying in your beer or whatever. And I know there are a lot of Bear fans who are not happy with the performance of this supposedly this incredible defense, the number one defense we're supposed to have in the National Football League. But just talk to Sean Payton and the New Orleans Saints and ask them how good this defense is. The Bears are trailing. Early in the fourth quarter, the New Orleans Saints by a score of 29-10. 29-10. And who would have thunk it? 364 total yards in the game for the New Orleans Saints. Unbelievable. This defense, and you know what? I got to tell you, and Chuck Pagano, I know you're without Akeem Hicks. He's out and probably till the 15th week of the season because of that dislocated elbow. And I know you had to throw in some different schemes and different wrinkles, but I don't blame it on you. I don't blame it on you. I got to play the blame, and you guys, you can feel free to jump in. The number here is 773-763-9278, 773-763-WCPT if you want to be a part of this conversation. We'd love to hear from you. And I got to place the blame right now on Coach Matt Nagy. You just simply have to place the blame on him. These guys coming off a bye week. We know what happened in London. And, of course, Matt Nagy say, hey, listen, I don't want to hear the critics say we should have got out to London a lot earlier. We should have instead of going out there, flying out there on Thursday, we should have gotten out there earlier, get prepared, and get acclimated to the environment. So, despite the fact that we lost the way that we did and got the slow start that we did, I think we did everything right. We'll be back. We get the bye week. We'll get healthy. We'll game plan, and we'll be ready for the New Orleans Saints. Well, the time off, I don't know what you guys have been doing. I really don't know what you've been doing, but it looks like you guys haven't showed up. And Matt Nagy, the signal caller, there's some questions that you got to answer for sure. Marty-B, what do you got?
I'm just perplexed, Jerry.
Because?
By the events of the entire afternoon. But, however, I will say, and I've felt emphatic about this all week, Mitch should not have been playing today.
No.
We would have been much better hands with Chase, would have controlled the game very well, and I think our offense would have moved pretty well.
Yeah, you know what? I think with the conservative play calling because of the situation with Mitch's injury, I think Chase Daniel would have been a better game manager for this football team. But, of course, Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace, the general manager of the Bears, felt that this is an opportunity to get Mitch right back out there. We got an opportunity, and I can understand from a coach's perspective and from a management's perspective that with Drew Brees being out and Kamara being out and Cook being out as far as the offense is concerned for the New Orleans Saints, I could see it. You say, hey, wait a minute. Our defense can play effectively against Teddy Bridgewater, albeit Teddy Bridgewater has been playing effective football over the past 4 or 5 weeks. But since Drew Brees went down. But from their perspective, I'm thinking, hey, my defense can contain their offense. We just have to manage our offense. Mitch Trubisky, if you hand the ball off here, throw the ball here, be conservative as far as your progressions, and move the ball down the field. Unfortunately, it backfired.
Absolutely, Jerry. The quarterback to manage the game is Chase, not Mitch, at this particular time.
There's no question about it. Marvelous.
Well, maybe it's the problem like in London. They didn't get to Soldier Field early enough.
Well, you know what? They can place pick straws and point fingers, whatever. Here's the scary thing about what's going on with this Bears team. And again, they give up 29 points to the New Orleans Saints at home coming off a bye week. And this seems to be a tale of the tape as far as the Bears are concerned under Matt Nagy. Last year when they came off a bye week, they end up losing a couple games. So he's not preparing this team during the break to come out on all cylinders and be effective and put some points on the board. And that's an unfortunate situation. Matt Nagy has not been able to prepare this football team week in and week out. And here's the interesting question. When we're talking about Matt Nagy and his play callings, a lot of people are, obviously we're sick and tired of the trick plays. Sick and tired of the trick plays. He hasn't run too many trick plays this year as compared to last year. But what has happened with Matt Nagy and his play calling, defensive coordinators have been able to catch up to him. They've been able to see the tape on Nagy's play callings and made adjustments to him. And now you don't see a Tariq Cohen running around like the human joystick like he did last year. You don't see Mitchell Trubisky, and it's pretty, I guess it's good, but you don't see Mitchell Trubisky exploiting defenses by using his feet to utilize drives and continue to move forward, because defensive coordinators have been able to adjust to Matt Nagy's play calling.
Right. I mean, Jerry, they only have 120 yards total, and Cohen's carried 3 times for 10 yards. So there's just something wrong with the running game, and we've talked about that in previous weeks. It's they don't go. They're going laterally. They don't go down. They don't go downhill at all.
No, they certainly don't. They only had 5 rushing attempts in the first half, the Chicago Bears. 5 rushing attempts in the first half. We know David Montgomery put the ball on the carpet for a turnover, and the New Orleans Saints were able to recover. And fortunately for the Bears, the defense was able to hold them down, and to the credit of the Bears again, and the discredit to the New Orleans Saints, they missed 2 field goal opportunities as well.
Yeah, man, the time of possession is 31 minutes to 18.
It's unbelievable.
It's ridiculous.
It's unbelievable and unacceptable. It's unbelievable and unacceptable. And I don't care what you have as far as your pride is concerned. I don't care what you see as far as this quarterback is concerned and Mitchell Trubisky. You have a responsibility to the entire team. You have a responsibility to the entire team, not just Mitchell Trubisky. Take the pacifier out of his mouth. Take it out of his mouth. Take the little blanket. My daughter, Alicia, I love her to death. I love her to death. But when she was a little tyke, she couldn't go to sleep without a little blankie. She had a little blankie. Oh, they got the little blankie. Hey, Mitchell, Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace, take the blanket away from the kid. Take it away. And I agree with you, Marty-B, the man on the street. He shouldn't have been in this football game. He should have been in the football game. Chase Daniels. And I got a guy on our hotline, our TRS60 hotline, who will agree with me. He will agree with me that Chase Daniels should have been the starting quarterback for this game against the New Orleans Saints. Ladies and gentlemen, you love him. He's the one. He's the one, ladies and gentlemen. He's the only. He's Kelly Lee Williams. What's up, Kelly? What's up, Kelly?
I am forced to be a Chase Daniel fan. Do you know how sorry that I have to feel to be a Chase Daniel fan? Jerry, what is the deal? Marty-B, what's up?
Hey, good afternoon there, Kelly. I can remember the long dissertation that you gave last year over at Saranello's up on the second floor about Chase Daniels. I'll never forget that.
None of us will forget it. Kelly, how you doing, man? What is your breakdown of this Bear game? Are you surprised at the score, 29-10? And Marvelous talked about the time of possession, 33 minutes to 18 minutes. How was that it?
Yeah.
30.
That's correct.
Kelly.
Yes, sir.
Break it down, man. Break it down.
I am not surprised at all. I think we found the weakness. I think we found the problem, gentlemen. Matt Nagy is limited. Matt Nagy is limited to his own devices. He doesn't know how to think outside his own box. When the running game didn't work in the beginning, he stopped it. He abandoned the running game. He left it to a man who has a dislocated shoulder to throw several times in order for this offense to move. He left it for a man who shouldn't even be on the field, and he knows it, to move this offense without any help from the tight ends taking any slack off, without any help from the running backs, and the running backs were playing just as poorly as well. This is all on Matt Nagy. And Chuck Pagano, I dare say, he may be the next head coach of this team.
Well,
Chuck Pagano's the only reason. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I don't know if we get that far, Kelly, as far as the next head coach for the Chicago Bears. I think the Bears, Ryan Pace, and the brass up at Hallis Hall, I think they really believe in what Matt Nagy brings to the program. I think they love the culture that he has. It's just unfortunate. It's a flip side of what this season was like a year ago. The Bears pretty much got all the breaks as far as the team is concerned. They were limited as far as injuries were concerned. They were productive on the defensive side of the ball with the takeaways. They were effective offensively. Special teams, they did well as well. So they had a complete package, hence the 12-4 record. On this season, the 2019 season, things have certainly caught up to this Bears franchise, this Bears football team, and unfortunately, they have been unable to make adjustments. And here's the real deal. The picks of Ryan Pace, the general manager of the Chicago Bears team, he's being exploited now. If you think about the three key guys, and it was questionable, and a lot of people in the media, including myself for sure, was suspect as far as the selections that were made when you brought in Mitchell Trubisky, and we talked about this during our Bears. While we were watching a Bears game, and we have to say thank you to Gale Street Inn and George and his entire crew over there in Jefferson Park, Gale Street Inn, for providing our meal for the Bears game. But when you talk about bringing in Mitchell Trubisky from North Carolina, you talk about bringing in Tariq Cohen from where was he? A&M.
Small school. I forget what school.
North Carolina A&M or something. Well, North Carolina. Right. I can't remember right offhand what Tariq Cohen. And then you talk about Adam Shaheen from Ashland College. Those three picks. Those were his three picks. And you go, wait a minute. Because normally you want to get someone from a major program, whether it's in Alabama, whether it's a Clemson, whether it's, you could say USC or Notre Dame, the Ohio State Buckeyes, you know, even a Texas program. You want someone from those particular programs, and no discredit to these players, no question, no discredit to them. But when you say those are your top three picks, you scratch your head and go, wait a minute, how much of an impact are they going to make in the National Football League on the long term? How much impact are they going to make in the National Football League long term? Because let me tell you something. It's a grown man sport. That is a grown man sport. And you have to prepare yourself to play a grown man sport. And if you listen to me, and no disrespect to the guy, but let me tell you something. You play at Ashland College, and then you get drafted into the National Football League, and you think that you're going to be you think that you're going to be an impact player? Those are diamonds in the rough. Those are diamond in the rough players. You don't get three diamonds in the rough players in one draft on the same team. That's going to make a major impact long term. And for whatever reason, right, Ryan Pace believed, hey, I'm the guru. Yeah, I was down in New Orleans. I was with Sean Payton. They gave me reigning recommendations. Hey, I'm the new guy. And then you come up with three picks like this and telling us you're going to pull the wool over our eyes and say, hey, I got three players. Tariq Cohen, and I love him, the human joystick, but they caught up to him. Yeah. Mitchell Trubisky, 13 starts at North Carolina as a senior, behind the learning curve. And then Adam Shaheen, oh, he's a big, massive specimen. Hey, listen, Ryan Pace, this isn't a modeling. We're not modeling him for a sculpture, all right? He's not Adonis that we're going to paint and put on our wall in the dining room and entertain our guests when they come over. No. It's the National Football League, man.
Tell us how you really feel, Gary.
I'm sorry.
You know, guys, I was just going to say.
You okay?
I can tell you how they're going to spin this, guys.
No, I'm not okay. Real quick, I'm not okay. Why? Because the Bears are losing 29-10 with 4 minutes to go in the football game.
You know how they're going to spin this?
True.
Guys, I can tell you. After the bye week last year, they lost to the Dolphins. Mm-hmm. And then they lost to the Patriots, so they were 3-3, which is going to be exactly the same record they have this year. So in the post game, they're going to say we're 3-3, just like last year.
No, gentlemen, let me tell you exactly why Mitchell Trubisky is out there right now.
By the way, the Saints just scored. They're up 36-10.
Oh,
sorry, Kelly.
I'm not even looking, Jerry.
Sorry, Kelly.
To the bathroom. I'm crying in the bathroom, Jerry. I didn't even want to look at it. I'm in the bathroom.
Well, I hope you have a beer and you're crying in your beer, because I'm crying in my my Coke that Marty-B, the man on the street, provided for us. Thanks to Gale Street Inn again for the fabulous food that they sent over, George.
Yeah,
you guys are
jambalaya, baby.
Yeah, boy, Kelly, we really miss you, Kelly. We'd love to have you breaking ribs with us, buddy.
Yeah.
Baby, I wish I was out there, guys.
But go ahead, Kelly.
I was out there eating ribs. Oh, and Richard Trubisky is out there because of Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is playing hurt. Ryan Pace, here's the criticism. Ryan Pace traded up to get Mitchell Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes. He has to play Trubisky. He has no choice. That's why he's out there today.
No.
The Bears going to be
He does have a choice. It's called number 4, Chase Daniels, who's standing on the sideline going, when do I get a chance to get out there again?
He can't. He can't because everything is on Mitchell Trubisky. Ryan Pace's job is on Mitchell Trubisky to succeed. If he doesn't succeed, Ryan Pace is out of there. I believe Ryan Pace is the next one to fall if the Bears finish 8-8 or 7-9. And that's where they're looking at right now because the Vikings, the Packers, the Lions, they're all winning. The Packers, the Lions and the Vikings, they're beating up on each other. They're looking great. The Packers are beating everybody. Who are the Bears going to beat in this division right now with Mitchell Trubisky as the quarterback?
Marty?
That is the question.
Marty, tell Kelly your thoughts about starting Mitchell Trubisky for this game.
Oh, absolutely not. I would be keeping Mitchell, regardless of what the decree is from top management. I keep Chase Daniels on the field, managing my team, managing my game, putting a lot of load on the defense, and not playing Mitch Trubisky. Bide some time here until he's healthy.
Yeah.
Marty-B, but you're talking reason. We're dealing with the McCaskies.
Well, what's the time of possession now?
Kelly, that
Marvelous. What do you get for the time for possession? I'm sorry.
Sure.
It's still bad. It's still pretty bad. It's getting uglier and uglier.
All right, there's a jury. It's not going to change for any better.
It's twice the possession time.
It's unbelievable. They're listening to the Rewind Sports 60, WCPT 820 AM, our Gale Street Inn, Sunday Bears Live postgame. Although the game is still in progress, but the Bears are losing right now by a score of 36-10 with 4 minutes and some change left in the ball game over at the lakefront, and things are not looking pretty for this Bears football team.
Jerry, you were saying earlier that Mitchell Trubisky should take the pacifier off. They should not baby him. We're going to have to face the fact, gentlemen. This may be it. This may be where Mitchell Trubisky is. I mean, he's not getting any better. They said it right at the beginning. He's been inconsistent from the beginning. And like you said, Marvelous, they're going to be 3-3, same way they were last game. But the defense is worse than last year. Rakeem Hicks is out. He's gone for 8 weeks. And the middle is wide open. If the Saints can run up the middle without Alvin Kamara, what can other teams do against this Bears defense up the middle? Well, all of them see what's happening today.
Well, see, here's the situation again, Kelly. It starts with Matt Nagy, who's calling these plays. It starts with Matt Nagy, and he's calling these plays. And again, to prance Mitchell Trubisky out there, to prance him out there. And what happened that Thursday night football game against the Green Bay Packers to open up the season? What did that defensive unit say? Hey, just put the ball in Mitchell Trubisky's hands. Just put it. Adrian Amos, who's with the Bears, knows Mitchell Trubisky, goes up to Green Bay. They make the interception to end the game. Mitchell Trubisky threw because he couldn't read the defense. And what did they say?
Right.
Hey, what did they say? Hey, you put the ball in Mitchell Trubisky's hands? That's all we want. That's all we want. So for Matt Nagy to draw up a game plan with his starting quarterback being Mitchell Trubisky, and you let him control the football? If any team, if I'm a defensive coordinator lining up against that, I'm pinning my ears back and telling my guys to go.
You're licking your chops.
Just go. Just go.
And that's exactly what the Saints defense did. The Saints defense, they don't pass rush. They don't rush the quarterback all the time. And they rushed him against Trubisky, and he looked lost. He shouldn't be looking this lost, Jerry.
Kelly,
he may be hurt, but he shouldn't be looking this lost.
No. Well, he's been lost, Kelly. That's the whole point. I told these guys while we were watching the game, I go, listen. Hey, Marty again, who said you shouldn't have started the kid. Don't do that to the kid. I'm going, listen.
Well, yeah.
This kid, he could barely play with 2 arms. What do you expect him to do with 1 arm? He couldn't even play with 2 arms, and now you're going to put him out there with 1. It makes no sense. They could have brought Drew Brees. Listen, Sean Payton, the Saints could have brought Drew Brees back. But they said, no, we're not ready yet. First of all, we're playing the Bears, so we don't need to bring him back. Teddy Bridgewater is doing a heck of a job. But you know what? We don't want Khalil Mack coming after Drew Brees and injuring that thumb again. So let's sit him again. They were smart. So when you say that Ryan Pace had to put Mitchell Trubisky out there because Patrick Holmes is playing injured, nope, not going to buy that one, Kelly. Not going to buy it. Because those are two different talents. Two different talents.
Not to the NFL, but according to the draft status.
No.
Richard Trubisky is supposed to be better than Patrick Mahomes. Richard Trubisky is number 2. He was drafted number 2. He should be better. He's not even.
Who said that? Marty, who said that?
I don't know what the person who said that is smoking.
Yeah, I never heard that one.
Oh, my
Marvelous,
God.
have you heard that one?
Nah.
No.
Well, okay, Ryan.
Kelly, plain and simple. Excuse me, gentlemen, for interrupting. Jerry and I discussed this in the Situation Room.
Oh, nice.
Yes, we did.
In the White House.
What you do is, a big mistake was made in the draft. When his number comes up, and if you have a draft pick available, that was a fine choice way down the line, maybe 150, 175, whenever it is. Groom this young man. Then take a chance on him then. See how he develops. Not what the Bears did. Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Huge mistake.
Well, they weren't even planning on playing him the first year.
But here's the deal.
That's right. They were going to play the other player all the time.
Here's the deal, though. Here's the deal. Ryan Pace didn't tell anybody. When they went into the war room and the pick was coming, he didn't talk it over with anyone on the staff. He didn't talk it over with Matt Nagy. He didn't talk it over with any or Fox. He didn't talk it over with anybody. He just said, "Hey, he told himself, "Hey, I'm going to make a pick." You know how when you when you were growing up, the cartoon, they had the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other shoulder. That's Ryan Pace. He's talking to himself.
That's the whole thing. Surprising.
He's talking to himself.
Ryan Pace is on one shoulder, and Ryan Pace is on the other shoulder, talking to Ryan Pace.
Yeah, and both the angel and the devil of Ryan Pace talking to each other. Hey, I think I'm going to go for that kid. I like that Mitchell Trubisky out of North Carolina. And they go, hey, yeah, I think you're right. He's a nice boy. He looks good. He's real humble. And he goes, yeah, and he's got a little nasty side to him. He might run the ball every now and then. That's something that we need. Yeah, we don't need a Walter Payton type of guy. And then the angel goes, yeah, he's a really nice guy, and his teammates like him, and the coaching staff like him. I think I'd like him too. Yeah. Don't tell anybody. I don't tell anybody. Just make the pick when you're ready. They'll really love him. This kid's going to work out really, really well.
Hey, Jerry, guys, why the pick surprised me is they just signed Mike Glennon to a big contract before 2017.
Exactly. What did he get? 17, 18 million or something like that?
That's why it was surprising.
Still getting paid, Jerry.
Yes.
Still getting paid.
Hey, man, only in Chicago. Kelly Lee Williams on our TR60 hotline. Hold your fort there. We're going to take a short time out. Commercial free because the Bears, they're taking all our sponsors away.
Oh, my goodness.
36-10. It's the Marvelous One, Dan Marver, the man on the street, Marty-B, yours truly, Jerry Riles. When we come back, more Bears conversation. You guys want to jump in? Your girls want to jump in? Our number is 773-763-9278. 773-763-WCPT. We're going to go out to the United Center for our TRS60 Monster Education Foundation scoreboard update with Gabe Salgado. Gabe from the United Center. Take it away, buddy.
TRS60 Sports Update.
Live from the United Center, sponsored by the Monster Education Foundation, the Blackhawks trail the Washington Capitals 1-0, 7 minutes left in the first period. The Capitals get a power play goal just 10 minutes in. Corey Crawford's in net for the Hawks tonight. Kirby Dach is making his NHL debut. He's playing on the first line with Patrick Kane. If you recall, he missed the entire preseason with a concussion, and he had spent the last couple weeks training with the Riker Ice Hogs to get ready for the season. Mitchell Trubisky was back under center for the Bears today. Unfortunately, to no avail. The Bears only scored 10 points. Don't even reach 200 yards of total offense as the Saints lead 36-10. With 2.5 minutes left to go, the Saints seem to have this one in hand. The Green Bay Packers defeat the Oakland Raiders 42-24. And the Minnesota Vikings take down the Detroit Lions 42-30. And the Chicago Bulls will open the NBA regular season Wednesday night on the road against the Charlotte Hornets. This update is sponsored by the Monster Education Foundation, MBS, empowering the next generation of leaders. And don't forget to sign up for the Monster Banquet coming up on November 9th. Go to monstereducationfoundation.org to learn more. Live from the United Center, I'm Gale Salgado for the Rewind Sports 60 and WCPT 820 Chicago.
You're watching the Rewind Sports 60. Go Bucks! Woo!
It's the end of the quarter. Time for a break in the action. The hottest sports panel in Chicago will get back to the fast-paced action, streaming live on Facebook Live. We're back at it after this quick timeout. So don't you dare touch that iPhone, Android, iPad, Mac, or PC. Lock it in.
The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by the Liquor Barn, located in Wheeling and Niles. Stop by 287 East Dundee Road in Wheeling or 8170 Gulf Road in Niles for all your wine and spirits needs. The Liquor Barn, located in Wheeling and Niles. And remember, tell Marcel and Tom in Wheeling that the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop in and say hello. Mention a Rewind Sports 60 and receive a free gift.
Go, Ella!
Way to hustle, Jen.
Our daughters live for sports.
Hey, their dentist told them your smallest piece of equipment may be your most important.
Now they always wear mouth guards.
Yeah, mouth guards help protect against broken teeth, head injuries too, like concussions.
All from a little mouth guard.
They're small, but mighty.
Just like our kids.
Talk to a Chicago Dental Society dentist. Visit cds.org/mouthguard. Sponsored by the Chicago Dental Society, aired in cooperation with this station.
The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by Serenello's Ristorante Italiano. Inspired by his travels and passion for Italy's culture, executive chef Michael Bonner has created a broad menu of Italian fare, utilizing the freshest ingredients to create the fullest flavors to bring homemade, handcrafted pizzas and pastas, as well as prime steaks and fresh fish dishes to the table. Feel the energy while dining in a casual and rustic setting. Dine at natural reclaimed wood tables surrounded by inviting darker woods, exposed brick beams, subtle filament lighting, and accented with muted chocolate and caramel tones throughout. An impressive 50-foot bar lines an entire wall with seating for all. The perfect place to relax, eat, and drink with their family and friends. Serenello's Ristorante Italiano is located at 601 North Milwaukee Avenue in Wheeling. Tell them the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop by.
Hi, I'm Liz Nicholson-Sullivan. As the wife of a 9-year NFL veteran suffering the long-term effects of untreated and undiagnosed head injuries, I know how dangerous concussions can be. The Concussion Legacy Foundation is a nonprofit dedicated to keeping kids safe in sports. Their Team Up, Speak Up program teaches kids to speak up to a coach or athletic trainer if they think their teammate might have a concussion. Whether you're a parent, coach, or athlete, you can make a difference. Join me and sign up at teamupspeakup.org.
The Rewind Sports 60 is sponsored by Bazaar World. Stop by Bazaar World in Niles, celebrating their grand opening with a huge sale. Hats, gloves, belts, rings, bracelets, necklaces, and much, much more. The largest jewelry and accessory store in the Chicagoland area. Bazaar World, located at 8526 West Gulf Road in Niles, near the corner of Milwaukee and Gulf. Bazaar World in Niles. Stop in and say hello to Alex. Mention a Rewind Sports 60 and receive a free gift.
If it's Chicago sports you want, you're in the right place.
Hello, Chicago!
The Rewind Sports 60.
That's the best in the city of Chicago.
Welcome back to the Rewind Sports 60 live with the best sports panel in Chicago. Lock it in.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rewind Sports 60, our Gale Street and Bears Sunday Live post-game show. Although the game is still in progress. Marvelous, what's the latest as far as the score is concerned there?
Well, it's 36-18 now.
36-18.
And we've narrowed the time of possession. Now it's 36 minutes to 20.
And that's the difference there. We're joined with Marvelous One, Dan Marver, of course, the man on the street, Marty-B. And on our TRS60 hotline, he is the one, the only. He's Kelly Lee Williams! And Kelly, like we said, man, if you're watching the Bear game, I know, hey, we're crying in our Coca-Cola right now. But if you're watching the Bear game, keep the volume up on WCPT 820 AM for our Gale Street Inn Bears Sunday Live post-game show. And Kelly, the Bears are trying to make an effort to get back into this ball game, at least make it respectability before they fall to 3-3. The New Orleans Saints looking to improve to 6-1, and the Marvelous said, and we all know this. A year ago they were 3-3, and they go on a tremendous run and finish with 12-4. But I don't see that happening now, Marvelous. I don't see that happening with this schedule and with this team.
Right. They have the Chargers next week. We just lost to Tennessee, who has a kicker, but they have Cody Parkland.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, 23-20.
Are you kidding me?
And their quarterback named Phillip Rivers is not on the sidelines next week.
Oh, by the way, did I hear the live update from the United Center, Mr. Gabe Salgado. Y'all nice. That was very nice. I was very aroused by that. It was very sexy. Gabe Salgado's a very sexy man.
Well, I'm glad you were aroused. Well, I'm glad you were in the bathroom being aroused by that. So, I mean.
You said it, not me, buddy.
Hey, I'm just repeating what I heard. But no, Gabe Salgado with updates at the bottom and the top of the hour, the fastest hour in sports conversation, the Rewind Sports 60 on WCPT with our Bears post game, despite the fact that the game is still going. And I don't know, are there any positives that we can take away from this? Again, I think it's a disappointing move by Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace to go with, and we heard throughout the week that Mitchell Trubisky had been practicing up at Hallis Hall, and from reports from there, it sounded like he was good and he was making progress, and that he was questionable on Thursday as far as playing in this football game. And you know, you only can believe the reports that are coming out, but your true heart, your gut feeling, has to tell you, I just don't see it. I just don't see if he is healthy enough to play in this football game. And I truly, truly believe that they felt that he can manage this offense. And, of course, with the injuries to the offense of the New Orleans Saints, including, Drew Brees, I thought it was going to be a defensive struggle between the two teams. And I'm sure the coaching staff probably felt the same way. But the way that Chase Daniels have been managing this football team and carrying them down the field with some type of respectability, I think that, you let Mitchell get as close to healthy 100% as you possibly can. And I know in the National Football League, I mean, everybody's playing hurt. So if you're at 85%, and again, I joked about it, but, tongue in cheek, the guy was struggling with two arms. What do you expect to do? He's going to do with one. And Marty-B, I agree with you. Marty-B, I agree with you. They should have reevaluated and made a decision and decided to go on with Chase.
Oh, 100%.
But Mitchell Trubisky just threw a touchdown pass. So they did score. So he can do that. They did score a touchdown against the Saints. It just happened to be in garbage time, but garbage time is time nonetheless.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal. And this is what pisses a lot of people off. And I'm sorry. You say, hey, it's garbage time. That's what the preseason is for. That's why you develop your player, especially a young quarterback like this. You let them play and get the reps in preseason. Not against the New Orleans Saints after a bye week when you're struggling. Nobody wants to hear about a garbage time. I'm sorry.
So it would be a garbage time if they wouldn't give up 36 points. But I digress. But we, it's you just got to look at the game, man. They started out bad. Started out horrible. I mean, it wasn't all Trubisky's fault. It wasn't fumbled by the running back. They can't get get out their own way. 2 or 3 outs at the beginning of the game. Boom, they're behind. But the defense did keep it close. I mean, they did keep it close right up until the third quarter. Then boom, they got tired. They just ran the ball, ran it down the Bears' throats because Akeem Hicks wasn't there to stop it up. And we couldn't answer because Trubisky can march us down the field like Teddy Bridgewater can march his team down the field. That is a problem. Trubisky can't do that. Yes, and he needs to be starting to do that, Jerry.
But why do you if he can't do that, why are you putting him in the game following an injury?
Because Chase Daniel can't do it either. I mean, let's face facts. He did look horrible at the beginning and at the end of that game that he played in. He was not great. He is a backup for the reason. And if Trubisky is if he's healthy enough to get out there, I'm sorry, Marty, you got to put him out there because, again, he doesn't have that experience. He doesn't have that, like you said, Jerry, he doesn't have those preseason reps. He didn't have them last year, didn't get them this year. So where does he get them? On the field. He has to be on the field to get the reps, and he looks bad doing it. This is on Nagy. This is Nagy's coaching. This is on Nagy. This is all on Matt Nagy, and he needs to correct it quickly, or he's going to find himself 7-9, 6-10 this year.
Marty-B?
At best.
That's absolutely correct. No, we all of this, repetition, scrimmaging, everything should have taken place in the preseason. We should have used those 4 games, and if he gets knocked up a little bit and banged up, so be it. He needs that experience in the preseason. Total waste of the preseason, not only for Mitch Trubisky, but for a lot of these guys that look like they're dog-tired, not in shape.
Well, I think they're in shape defensively, but again, if your offense is ineffective and they can't make any. What's the time of possession again, Marvelous one?
It's crazy. They've got a double basically. It's 4. It's 36 minutes to 22 now.
36 minutes to
They had
22
12
minutes.
yards in the first half, guys.
Listen, if your defense is on the football field for 36 minutes, you're going to be gassed as well. You're going to be gassed as well.
Yeah, and they've had 2 possessions in a row. They've cut 6 minutes into it. They're in the red zone again. So
it's ridiculous. It really is. And this is the scary part about it, gentlemen. If this continues to trend the way it's going as far as this Bears football team is concerned, with the defense who's supposed to be elite, top 3, maybe, and some have said the defense in the National Football League, yet they're giving up numbers like this because they're on the field more than half the time. And some people speculate, and these are former players who've played the game at the highest level, say it's going to come a time where you're going to start to lose your locker room. You're going to start to lose your locker room because what's going to happen is these defensive guys who are out there, they're going to go, hey, we're tired. We're getting our butts kicked, and they're going to start giving some of these offensive players the stink eye. They're going to give them the stink eye.
He's already started losing the locker room. Did you see the receivers? Did you see how they're reacting when the Trubisky's throwing it to him? Did you see how frustrated that they look? That he's already starting to lose the locker room. He better be careful, or he might lose it by the end of this season.
Yeah, he may lose it before the season. And again, I'm sure there are some of the players in that locker room that say, "Hey, you know what, Mitchell, we love you, great guy, but." And here's the deal. Here's the deal. This is where Matt Nagy really made a mistake, in my opinion. Is okay. Start Mitchell Trubisky. Let's see how he does. But when the wheels started falling off, Marty-B, when things started to fall apart, take him out and bring in Chase.
Immediately.
Hey, Troy Aikman and Tommy Brenneman on the broadcast, they even say, look, they showed the camera of Chase Daniels on the sideline. You might want to make a decision. When you got Troy Aikman, a Hall of Famer, a Super Bowl champion, start to say, hey, maybe you should bring Chase in. Come on now.
What was the point spread in this game? They're going to cover it now. It's going to be 10 points in a minute. They're going to get it down to 10.
The Bears have scored.
Yeah, they're going to.
What's the score now?
36-24 pending the extra point.
36-24. How much? A minute? What?
54 seconds.
Oh, so they just under 2 minutes.
Yeah, under 1 minute.
I mean,
54 seconds.
Oh, I thought you said a minute 54. Okay.
Well, the Bears are rolling right now.
Yeah, they won the fourth quarter.
A little bit too late, Marty.
Yeah, but at least it's
maybe now with these couple of minutes, maybe some kind of an. Listen, don't lose hope yet.
Okay,
it's not over until it's over, gentlemen.
You know what? And Marty, you absolutely no. He's absolutely right. I mean, just look at the fight in the line of the University of Illinois with the upset over number 6 Wisconsin on the last second field goal. So. I mean, Marty, you're like me. You're an optimist. You believe that anything is possible, and you're absolutely right in the game of football. And we've seen what's happened in Major League Baseball in these playoffs, and congratulations to the Houston Astros advancing to the World Series again for the opportunity to win their second World Series in 3 years. And, of course, Davey Martinez and the Washington Nationals, what they've been able to do, and this is going to be an incredible World Series.
It is. Scherzer and Verlander, who were teammates with the Tigers once. Well, I mean, it's unbelievable, the pitching possibilities.
Yeah.
Strasburg, and I think it's unbelievable.
It'll be must-see TV.
Cole, yeah, Strasburg and Cole.
They said this would be the biggest World Series since 2001 when the Yankees played the Diamondbacks.
Greinke. Yeah, that's unbelievable.
It's going to be must-see. It's going to be must-see TV, and I hope it goes 7. Yeah. And the way these two teams are playing, it could possibly go 7. But like you said, Marty-B, it ain't over till you see double zeros on the clock.
They're down by 11. I don't think that you can score 11 points.
Well,
you can score
touchdown,
14.
2,
yeah.
Field goal.
Wait, you can score 14.
Yeah, but they need 11.
Yeah, but you can score 14. That's more than 11.
I understand all about optimism, Jerry, but you see what I see. You see what Matt Nagy is doing with this offense. You don't see improvement either. If there is no improvement, if this is what he's going to continue to do, and if all the defenses, if all the other teams have caught up to him, and then we're saying, now what, Coach Nagy? Now what are you going to do? What's next? Let's see the nuances. Let's see, the audibles. Let's see some new plays. If we don't see those, what happened?
Let me ask you guys this question. Do we lose this game?
And we haven't lost this game yet, Jerry.
You're right. I mean, you're right, Marty, for all practical purposes. We haven't lost this game.
I just want to bring you back to earth here.
You get an onside kick. Yeah. You get a breakaway. You throw up a hole. We got to get 2 onside kicks to win this thing.
If Sean
Marty,
Payton loses this game, he
you
should
got to
be
get
fired
two
after
onside
Monday.
kicks to win this thing.
And onside kicks are harder than ever to obtain right now.
You can't get two of them. Have you, Marvelous, in the history of the game?
It's hard enough to get one.
Yeah, it's hard to get one. I've never, ever heard of a team getting two onside kicks in one game, back to back.
Yeah, in 48 seconds.
I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it, Kelly.
I saw it a couple of
Not
years
two.
ago
No.
when Glenbrook North played Niles North, and Niles North
That's
recovered.
high school, man.
High school, man.
Okay.
The Bears just recovered the onside kicks. Thanks to Devin Tingle, our producer, is keeping us in. The Bears have recovered the onside kick.
All they need is a field goal and an 8 to tie, right?
My gosh, this is exciting.
I mean, yeah.
How much time do we have left in this
Wait
one
a
now?
second. You're going to have these people turning the game back on.
No, they
What's
can
the
turn it on.
What's the matter with you
And
guys?
you can turn it on. Just keep it listening to us because we're.
This is going to make the Coach Nagy show very upbeat on Tuesday night. If we only would have got started just a little sooner.
So basically, what they have to do is throw a Hail Mary, and we know that Mitchell, with the one arm that he has, he can throw it down the field. He just has to throw it to a receiver, our receiver, not the near interception that he threw where the Saints defensive backs were fighting over it.
Fighting over it, yeah.
That was ridiculous. That was a
No,
ridiculous
listen,
throw.
I told you. Now, Marty-B, you said you see two onside kicks recovered by the kicking team.
In high school.
By Niles North against Glenbrook North 3 years ago.
I've never heard of that before in my life.
It was amazing. Just amazing.
That is amazing.
This is all positive.
That is
Positive
amazing.
stuff. I mean,
Well, the Niles North coach knew he had to put out all the stops.
Well, the difference is sometimes what they do in high school is they don't even do the traditional onside kick. They sort of kick it straight up in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's it's a
Yeah.
little different.
No, yeah, the difference is it's high school versus pros.
Right, exactly.
Well, right now, Jerry and Danny and Kelly, a meeting of the minds.
Yeah, right.
Whose minds? I hope not. I hope
Wouldn't
not
it be
Nagy's.
something?
I hope not Nagy's mind.
Well, Coach Nagy might just pull the rabbit out of the hat.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we know
That
he's
would
known
be-
to do that. He pulled a lot of things out.
It's just too bad we
see what
couldn't have
happens.
gotten started a little bit sooner.
Yeah, see, like I told you, they didn't get to Soldier Field early enough.
But that's the point. I mean, and again, those the first possession, the block punt.
Yeah, there was-
and
there was
Patrick
2 points.
O'Donnell pushed it out of the back of the end zone for the 2 points right there. And then
there
again,
were two block punts.
yeah, there were
two
the
block
other
punts.
partial block
Another
punt.
block, yes.
So special teams is a question mark there. There's 3 phases to this football game and football team, and it seems like on the third phase, the special teams for the Chicago Bears, we kind of struggle.
Yeah, but our Eddie's done
And,
okay.
and this all came after a bye week. It came after a bye week.
Which
They
meant
had
you
time.
which meant you should have been prepared coming off of that disappointing loss in London.
Yes, and they weren't. This is not good. This is not good at all.
Yeah.
This is. I mean, God in heaven, come on, Jerry, give us a prayer. Give us. I'm sorry, Marty-B, not Jerry. Marty.
Marty's the pastor.
Hey, wait a minute, I could pray.
No. Sorry, but we need Marty-B. We need a bear prayer. We need a Marty-B bear prayer.
A bear
We need
prayer.
A bear prayer, Marty.
I better come up with one here.
Well, here's the deal, Sean Payton on the other sideline. I mean, he's seen everything. Matt Nagy
Oh,
is
yes,
still
he has.
learning. Matt Nagy is like Mr. Trubisky. They're both still learning and developing, and they're going up against a Hall of Fame head coach.
Right.
And luckily, can you imagine if Drew Brees actually played in this football game?
Yeah, no kidding.
Can you imagine? We don't.
And you know you're
we don't
only
want
saying that,
to.
Jerry. You know you're only saying that, Jerry, because the score is now 25 instead of 10. If they were still at 10, you'll still be saying,
Well,
that's
not like that, but they may not have recovered the onside kick after all.
Oh, they didn't?
Well, we'll see.
Oh, the review?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Review.
If you guys want to jump in, it's 773-763-9278, 773-763-WCPT. It's our Gale Street Inn. Bears Sunday Live post-game, during the game, right here on WCPT, 820 a.m., the Rewind Sports 60. Yours truly, Jerry Riles, along with the marvelous one, Dan Marver. The man on the street is in the house, Marty-B, and on our TRS60 hotline, calling from Sin City, Las Vegas, he's Kelly Lee Williams!
And I love it, baby. I love Sin City, man. I am working 5 nights a week at a place called Cat's Meow, DJing NMC, making some dough, and I'm not using it for gambling yet because I don't get the numbers from Jerry yet. But when Jerry gives me the right tips, I'll be gambling. But I'm having a great time. You guys either come out to Sin City, and we'll do a Rewind Sports 60 satellite show and have some good times at the Raiders game. Raiders-Bears, next Raiders-Bears game.
Hey, incidentally,
Raiders will be in Vegas.
Incidentally, we got a program note. The Bears kicker, Eddie Pinero, and the punter, Pat O'Donnell, will be at Serenello's for a meet and greet on Tuesday, October 29th at 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock. So come on out, make your reservations. Go over to Serenello's website. Just Google Serenello's Restaurante Italiano. It said, let us entertain you. Restaurant. Go on to their website. Type in the reservations. We've already got close to 50 people, I believe, who are making plans to be over there on the 29th Tuesday for a meet and greet. Eddie Pinero, the kicker for the Bears, and, of course, Pat O'Donnell, the punter. Both of them will be in the house. Come on out. It's a fabulous time. Yours truly will be emceeing the event. So we want you all to be out there. You can meet a marvelous one, Dan Marver, and, of course, the man on the street, Marty-B, will be in the house. It's going to be a lot of fun. But you better make your reservations because it's going to fill up really, really quickly. So we want you to be a part of it. Eddie's a fantastic kid.
Oh, he's very, very personable, ladies and gentlemen. He's more than happy to take a picture, a snapshot, have a conversation. And if you've got a young one there who's a football player, he's happy to talk to him.
Yeah, he certainly is. And the good thing about Eddie Pinero, he's a humble guy. He's a down-to-earth guy. And his first meet and greet that we had back in September, he actually he was only supposed to be with us for maybe like 45 minutes or whatever. He loved the food at Serenello's. And so he stuck around. He shook hands. He took pictures. He chatted with everyone, and he and his dad, fabulous family, they were pretty much the last ones to leave out of Serenello's.
Right.
They really enjoyed it that much.
He has a great backstory. His father was a pro soccer player, and he was a soccer player until his senior year in high school.
Yeah, he was. And then, of course, he became a kicker because his dad asked him, hey, why don't you go try out for this contest? 500 kids in Alabama. He beats them all, gets a scholarship, could have kicked for Alabama and Nick Saban. He asked his parents, hey, Mom, Dad, if I play at Alabama, would you come to every one of my games? They're like, no, we can't, because they live in Florida, Miami area. We can't afford to do that. So what happens? He turns down Alabama. The Florida Gators say, hey, we'll give you a scholarship. He goes, Mom, Dad, if I get a scholarship at Florida, will you guys come to all of my home games? Like, sure, of course we will. He accepts the scholarship, and the rest is history.
Mm-hmm. Which is great, because Gainesville isn't even that close to Miami.
No. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, but he's still in
closer,
state. Yeah, he's still in state. It's easier. Hey, listen, it's easy to.
3 hours instead of 10. Yeah,
yeah, it's a little bit easier. Just a little bit, marvelous one. If you want to join in, give us your feedback, Kelly.
I'm so proud.
773-763-9278. You're proud of us for what? Because we didn't play for the Bears.
No, for the Rewind Sports 60. It's the progressions that you are making. With Gabe doing live feed for the United Center, with you guys doing Serenello's things with Eddie Pinero and O'Donnell, the kickers. That's what's up, man. I need to be back there to be doing some things with y'all, but I'm doing this Sin City thing. So I'm watching from afar, living vicariously through you guys. So keep it up, man.
We don't. Thank you, Kelly. And we'll continue to live vicariously through each other. And it's just the chili kickoff, the restaurant night, the taste of Wheeling. It's just not the same without you, buddy.
Not the same, buddy. Marvelous one. What you got?
I love you guys, man.
It's
I miss
official.
you guys.
They didn't get the onside kick, and they're just kneeling it out. 36-25 is your final.
36-25 is the final. You got to give it to the at least the one thing about the Chicago Bears, and the one thing I do commend this football team is that there's no quit. There's no quit in the Chicago Bears. They will fight till the end, and unfortunately, they just get off to a sluggish start, a late start, and then they have to play catch up. And unfortunately, the defense by the time the fourth quarter arrives, they're pretty much gassed.
Put it in the mirror. You got the Chargers.
Yeah. Well.
But you're absolutely right. The no quit saying that the Bears are going to come back stronger, and I'm going to keep the faith that Marty-B has, and the Bears are going to march up. They're going to raise up, win a division anyway.
Amen.
Chicago Bears.
Hallelujah.
Man,
well, Kelly, you're in Sin City. You're in Las Vegas, and you believe that. You know what? I have to put a little wager on that. Because have you looked at the NFC North? Listen? You know that the team up north, right? The team up north.
Yes.
With Aaron Rodgers. You know he scored like 6 touchdowns today. He threw 5 and he ran 1. 6 touchdowns.
And Kirk Cousins got 4 touchdowns with the Minnesota Vikings. Yes.
And we're gonna win.
Ridiculous.
So what division are we gonna win?
We're gonna. Hey. I'm trying to be. Come on, Jerry. I'm trying to be faithful here. Marty
we're
B is
faithful.
giving me the power.
We're faithful.
Marty B is giving me the energy to believe. Marty B, I believe with you. I'm gonna bear down, Marty B. The Chicago Bears are gonna win the North Division.
That's a spirit, Kelly.
There are only 2 games.
We're going to regroup. Now, we're going to regroup this week. We're going to get Mitch healthy. But if he's not 100%, doggone it, I want Chase taking us into battle next Sunday.
Quick, hey, before we get out of here, ladies and gentlemen, before we get out of here, if you guys, 10 seconds, your final thoughts on this Bears disappointing loss, 36-25, falling to 3-3 on this 2019 season.
It could have been 36-10, and the Bears fought back. I like the fight. Come back, win next week.
Yeah, just put it in the mirror, rearview mirror. That's what I say. You can't look back. Got to look forward.
Marty-B, real quick.
Okay. Well, that kind of wraps it up, folks, for another week. We'll see you next week, and let's just regroup and prepare for those Chargers, and let's make the right decision when it comes to the starting quarterback.
He's Marty-B, the man on the street, the marvelous one, Dan Marver, and, of course, yours truly. Thanks to our producer, Devin Tingle, another edition of the Rewind Sports 60. Thanks to George and all his crew over at Gale Street Inn for the Chicago Bears meal during the game. The Bears fall again. Gabe Salgado at the United Center with our Monster Education Foundation scoreboard update. Folks, have a great rest of your Sunday. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you at Cirinello's on Saturday for our Saturday tailgate show, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Take it away, Gabe.
TRS60 Sports Update.
The second period is about to get underway here at the United Center, where the Blackhawks trail the Washington Capitals 1-0, despite outshooting them 14-12. And as you heard, the Bears did attempt to mount a comeback, but they fall short. They lose to the New Orleans Saints 36-25. This update is sponsored by the Monster Education Foundation, live from the United Center, and I'm Gabe Salgado for the Rewind Sports 60 and WCPT 820 Chicago.